you got this new camera and lens, and you go outside, you try to take picture and video, and it comes out like crap. I get it, I understand. You're frustrated. I see it in you. You're frustrated. Well, fortunately, that is where Terry Warfield comes again to save the day, man. My name is Terry Warfield. I make filmmaking content. I like making gear reviews, and I like making motivational films too. So if you like that type of stuff, make sure you hit subscribe. Matter of fact, just do it right now. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when new videos go up. Now listen, before we get into anything, before I tell you why this nice camera you have keeps giving you crap results, probably because of the mode you're choosing, I gotta get coffee, man. And before we go into this coffee thing too, let me tell you something. I'm an original coffee drinker. Before YouTube and Instagram did coffee and it got popular, I've been drinking coffee since I've been 11 years old, man. I'm 34, I'm original. So before we go forward with some tips and tricks for you, I gotta get coffee. All right, man, I got my coffee, little peppermint mocha action. Now let me get this out the way. I'm gonna start doing this every video because every video y'all asked us in the comments. What camera are you using to record this video? Well, I'm filming on the Sony A7 III with a Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens on there. Now I know some of y'all might say you're not supposed to use the crop sensor lens on the full frame camera. Listen, I just did a whole video on that. You can go check that out. The audio comes from the Rode wireless mic. Go listen, man. If you don't have audio for your vlogs, man, this thing is killer. Video coming on that soon. And this is all sitting on top of a Fade-Tech AK2000 because my tripod right now is broke. Now, links to all that stuff is in the description. Music is from Epidemic Sound, so if you're interested, make sure y'all use my links. I really appreciate it. Now that we got that out the way, you probably wonder, what are all these alphabets on top of the camera? Now listen, every manufacturer is different, so I'm gonna speak for Sony. P mode is program auto. That's the mode where the camera does all of the thinking for you. The S mode is shutter priority. That means you set the shutter, camera picks everything else. Aperture mode means you pick the aperture, camera picks everything else. Then you have M mode, that's the mode that we're gonna talk about the most. Now, the reason why cameras have program auto mode is because, you know, manufacturers understand that not everybody's a professional filmmaker and photographer. Some people just want a camera, even if it's a nicer camera to take pictures with. So what the program auto mode is supposed to do is take the most well-balanced photo when it comes to exposure, colors, and all that stuff right out the camera, so that the average user doesn't have to. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. However, if you want them crispy photos that you like seeing where the background is all blurry, you want that cinematic style video, man, you got to take this thing out of auto mode and get your hands dirty. Let me tell you some more. All right, now that I'm caffeinated, let's get it. So one of the main reasons you need to take your camera out of auto mode is because photography and filmmaking, man, it's really a sweet science. There's just so much stuff that you need to learn and that you need to grow as a photographer or as a filmmaker, whatever you want to call it. You got to be able to learn that stuff. So you need to understand what exposure is, how aperture and shutter speed and ISO, how all of that stuff influences your image. You need to learn about white balance. You need to learn about lenses and focal lengths. I mean, it goes on and on, man. The reason I'm saying that is because you can never figure that stuff out if you let the camera make all the decisions. So a lot of y'all come to me like, Terry, how do I get my photos and videos to look as crispy and dope looking as yours? Well, that's the thing, man. You can't get that in auto mode because here's the reality of it. The camera doesn't know that you want to be creative. All the camera knows is that I'm trying to take the most balanced picture I can take so that this person that's using me is happy. It doesn't know you want to be creative. It doesn't know none of that stuff. So I call auto mode like training wheels, like a bike, you know what I'm saying? If you leave the training wheels on the bike, sure, you'll learn how to ride it, but you'll never be able to actually take it to the next level. You'll never be able to do tricks and stuff on a bike with the training wheels on. You gotta get off the baby potty and get on the big kid potty. You gotta take the training wheels off the bike to learn how to do what it is you wanna do with the camera. Because if you don't, the camera will always make these decisions for you. You'll never get that creative sauce that you want with the camera being an automatic. Now let's keep going with that same idea. The camera don't know that you want to be creative. It don't know that you want a super blurry background. It don't know that you want to have a person looking like a silhouette and the rest of the background bright, or vice versa. It don't know that you want the left side of the frame blurred out and not the right side. Like, the camera don't know none of that stuff. So leaving the camera in auto mode, if you want to be creative, it ain't gonna give you what you're looking for. So let me give you a real life practical demonstration of what the hell I'm talking about. I brought another camera. Now, the same principle applies to any type of camera you use, whether it's a cell phone, whether it's an Osmo Pocket, whether it's a mirrorless, whether it's a DSLR, a cinema camera. Like, you gotta take control over your camera. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna let the camera do all the thinking. Then I'm gonna take the same picture with the same composition, except for I'm gonna make the decision. You'll see the difference, man. Let's do it. All right, man, as y'all can see, the background is kind of blown out. I ain't got no ND filter, so that's my bad. But anyways, let's hop to it now. I brought my Sony A6300 with the nifty 50 on here, and the A6300 has 2 auto modes. The P mode is program auto, where it sets the shutter speed, the aperture. You can still influence some of the other stuff, and it's got an all automatic mode, which that's the mode I'm going to use. So let's go ahead and take this picture. Now the first picture, I'm gonna let the camera do the thinking. The second picture, I'm gonna take control of the camera in manual mode, then I'm gonna do the thinking. Let's compare the results. Let's do it. Bang. Now let's take control of it. Boom. Now right away, I can tell looking at these 2 pictures, mine I much more prefer. I wanted the background to be blurry. The background is kind of blurry on the other picture. That's because it's a 50mm lens on the crop sensor, but I wanted that super creamy look. That's what I got. Now let me do the same thing, but I'm gonna take a picture of the camera I'm filming on. I'm gonna put the camera back into auto mode, take the picture, then I'm gonna take control over it in manual mode and let you see the difference. Not bad. Now this is one of those situations where I would much rather put the camera in manual because my background is super bright, the camera is super dark. That's not what I want, but the camera don't know that. So I know that I want to expose for my highlights in these type of scenarios instead of my shadows. I can never do that with the camera in program auto mode. So I'm gonna put this thing in the manual, and instead I'm gonna expose for my highlights, because I know if I get my highlights right in camera, then I can always pull my shadows up in post. Once my highlights are blown in camera, ain't no getting them back. All right, now that's that. I got one more example for you. All right, I'm gonna take a picture of this grill. I'm gonna let the camera do everything, and then after that, I'm gonna take control over the camera and do the same thing. You can take a look at the results. Now, I'm gonna tell you with this grill, I really wanna have a blurry background. So, let's see what the camera does. All right, back in the program auto, let's go for the handle right here. Okay, and then let me do it, man. All right, same thing, man. The camera took a good picture, but it's not what I wanted. It's a solid picture, it is, I'm not gonna lie, but I wanted the background to be a little bit more blurry. Taking control over the camera got me what I want. Man, it got real cold outside. Listen, I hope that helped you if you are a new shooter with understanding why you gotta take the training wheels off, man. I'm not saying that auto mode is a bad thing, but what I am saying is if you really wanna learn photography and you wanna take your photography and your films to the next level, man, you gotta take the training wheels off. And you just got to get your feet wet. That's the only way you're going to learn. Now, once you advance some, then you can start using the other modes like shutter priority, aperture priority. You can start using those modes along with like auto ISO to make filming your vlogs and stuff like that a little bit easier. Also making your photography a little bit easier in certain situations. But learn the basics first before you start going after that. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. I was out here in the cold, braving the elements to try to spread knowledge, to try to inspire people to up their photography game, up their filmmaking game and all that stuff. I really hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, make sure you drop a like. If you didn't subscribe, make sure you do that. Stay tuned for future videos, man. That's all I got for you today. Peace and chicken grease. I'm out. Terry Warfield. Peace.